I'm Dan. Welcome to Pretty Average Astro and my review on the Optolong L Ultimate filter, which took way longer than expected, mostly because of weather. And if you can see, my HEQ5 is looking a little bit worse for wear. But I pretty much got everything I needed to at least give a decent review on this filter and a decent comparison. So the main upgrades for the review were a Starizon 0.65 reducer paired with the Optolong L Ultimate filter.
The Starizon Apex ED is a 0.65 reducer flattener for refractors. The L variant stands for long version for focal length of 500mm and above. This pairs perfectly with my Skywatcher Evolux 82ED, bringing the F ratio down from 6.4 to a fast 4.2. I purchased this from 365 Astronomy and it was approximately $650 Australian delivered. The L Ultimate is a recent release by Optolong. It's a 3nm dual band filter used to drastically reduce light pollution whilst isolating nebula emissions to give a darker background and higher signal to noise ratio. The L Ultimate operates in the narrow bands of 656.3nm for the H alpha red channel and 500.7nm for the O3 green and blue channel. The 3nm bandpass of the L Ultimate is an improvement over the L Extreme and L Enhance 7nm variants, giving a higher signal to noise ratio and reduced halos of stars. I purchased this filter from First Light Optics during the pre-sale promotion period, which was approximately $500 Australian delivered.
So my plan for this review was to take a picture of the same target, same amount of exposures, using my modified DSLR 1200D with my Astronomik CLS filter, then use the DSLR with the L Ultimate filter, and then using my ASIAIR 533MC Pro with the L Ultimate filter, and pretty much compare those images. That kind of went to plan. I was able to get the DSLR images with the CLS and L Ultimate filter. However, the weather after that was just shocking, so I think I lost about 3 to 4 weeks maybe. And when it came to the 533, I literally had a 10-minute window and managed to get one exposure of that target before the weather came back for another couple of weeks. And pretty much now that target is now over my house. My plan was to do approximately 2 hours with each camera and each filter and then have a look at the data. So what I'm going to do for the comparison is I'm pretty much going to take a single frame from each session, each camera and each filter, and we'll go into PixInsight and we'll have a look at the grayscale images. We'll look at the RGB, edit the single frame, see how good we can get them looking. And for fun, at the end, I'll just show you, I guess, my best editing attempt with all the exposures. For the DSLR, it's going to be the Prawn Nebula, so that will be with the CLS filter and then with the L Ultimate. But because I can't capture that image anymore, I ended up getting a really good session on the Tarantula Nebula right before my HEQ5 seemed to have died, but I'll get into that at the end. Alrighty, so what we've got here is a grey and RGB image of a single exposure on the Prawn Nebula IC4628. So we've got the DSLR with the CLS filter, the DSLR with the L Ultimate, and the 533 with the L Ultimate. So first, we'll open up the grayscale. So not too bad, like you can start to see sort of the outline of why it's called the Prawn Nebula. But I've been imaging like this for ages at f7.5 and I've got really good results. Probably just took me a little while longer to get them. So I'll just pop that here. So these are 5-minute exposures, and you can already see like the difference in, well, firstly star reduction, and then the nebulosity and the structure detail. Quite a difference. Like you'd expect, you know, another 10 images maybe of the CLS filter to try and capture that much. And then if we move up, already I'm recommending narrowband imaging for DSLRs. So I'm happy with that. And then, so now I said I kind of had 10 minutes. Part of that 10 minutes, my telescope was starting to point over my gutter. So I've got a big gradient here. Obviously it's going to be better than the CLS. So I guess now you'd want to compare the L Ultimate with the DSLR versus a cooled Astro camera. And I'd say it's obviously cleaner just looking at it. Detail wise and what it's picking up. So this is still doing it like a decent job of picking up heaps more data, but even these fainter areas, there's a bit more detail and structure in general, where here you're kind of looking, is that a smudge, where this one you can kind of actually see it's part of the structure. And noise, so I think this ZWO was at minus 15 degrees. So hold on, sorry, I'll zoom into. So yes, cooled Astro cameras are good. That's just, yeah, that's so much cleaner. For some reason, when I was doing my editing, because I was only doing it one at a time, where I was doing the DSLR with the L Ultimate, and I was like, oh, I don't even need a cooled camera, but yes I do. Yep, so that's really good. Single exposure. So if we're all happy with that grayscale, I'll move on to the colored images. This is still really good. This is obviously what I'm used to, bar the Starizon reducer. Great stars. Obviously DSLR is just a bit more noisy, but look at all that nebulosity. It blows you away when you go from stock to modified. You're like, oh, all this stuff I was missing out on. And then I get the reducer and I'm like, oh, all this stuff that I was missing out on. Then you get a filter, and then you get an Astro cool camera, and then you have zero cash in the bank. So notice a difference already. So I guess it's good looking at the grayscale and then the actual color, because you can kind of pick up much more. So star reduction again. You can obviously tell the background with the nebula. Obviously it just brings it out heaps more, where it's just kind of, it's all sort of mixed in. You can't sort of tell where things start, I guess, where this is pretty prominent. And you can just see there's heaps more H-alpha that's been collected within that same 5-minute exposure. There's the bloody gutter. The way it's been stretched, the colors are a little bit different. It looks a lot more natural. Definitely, if you look at these sort of darker areas here, a lot more structure, and just, let's go in, and a lot less noise. There's just more detail and much more cleaner. Besides the gutter, I guess like star size wise, are pretty similar. Colors pretty similar. Stars are just probably a little bit more clean around the edges. Let's have a go at editing these. So Jesus Christ. See, that's what I was like, you don't need a cool camera. That is insane. Jesus Christ. That's so cool. Marvelous. There you go. Yes, we could do star reduction, but I'm not doing that. Let's do the same thing for this image. So, man, look at that. There's your minus 10 degrees for you. That's so good. Did that do something? Oh, pretty good. Alright, there you go. If you got a Canon camera, script utilities Canon banding reduction. I'll take that. Alright. See you later. Alright, next one. Oh, now. See how this gradient's going to go. But first, what was the magic? Oh. Gets you every time. Alright. Okay. So, just comparing the coloured images. Geez, I've been recording for 40 minutes. I'm not going to be putting you through that. Okay, anyway, so what did we do? So, we did noise exterminator, dynamic background for these two images with the L Ultimate. Didn't really work. Might have been all the stars for the CLS filter. We just did automatic background extraction. We did a easy soft stretch, did another noise reduction, and that was it. So comparing all these images. Alrighty, so 1 5-minute image, no calibration frames. So here's the modified DSLR with a CLS filter. Lots of stars. Great star color though. I would be absolutely stoked with this. Just this one image when I first started. It's a clip-in filter, so I'll probably look at getting a 2-inch CLS filter that's not as aggressive as the L Ultimate for those broadband targets. So for this one, the stock DSLR, you can absolutely tell so much more data. Obviously, there's a few sort of weird Canon sensor noise and stuff, which you'll be able to sort of edit out. And obviously, the more you stack, the less that will be as well. And you can see there's a little bit of green that needs to be removed, but in general, like, star reduction is really good. And the stars, there's no kind of, even bright ones, like, they're not very bright, but there's not really any halos. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. And then comparing, and obviously I've got this noise here from the gutter, but when you look at this, that honestly almost looks like all my 2 or 3 hours worth of DSLR photos stacked with calibration frames, and that's one single exposure with the 533 and the L Ultimate. Like, that's pretty impressive, and I think that speaks for itself. I don't think I need to go into too much, but honestly, that, like, I didn't even manually do anything. Everything was just literally automatic. It was 3 different things. So that's, as much as PixInsight used to be intimidating, it now really isn't, with all these plugins and tutorials and all that hard stuff is all automatic now. You hardly have to do anything. Yeah, cool. I think that's really good. I think works great with the 533, works great with the DSLR, as long as you can get, I guess, more frames to stack to give you a bit more of a cleaner image. There you go, seeing single images of what the L Ultimate can do. So from here, I'll show you the completely stacked images from these sessions. And one thing I'll just note is the CLS filter, the actual photo, it looks more natural than the one with the L Ultimate. That's just my editing, but if you have a look at the actual detail of the L Ultimate. There's so much more nebulosity, but I'll put those up on the screen for now, and hopefully my phone is still recording. Final verdict, the results, as you can see, were pretty good. I'm absolutely stoked. It's my first narrowband filter, so I guess I don't have the experience of coming from an L Extreme filter or anything to, I guess, recommend an upgrade from that. From what I've heard, the L Extreme is really good. One of the main things that I wanted to do was do that comparison with the DSLR, because I know there's a huge amount of people that use DSLRs. However, I'd recommend a modified, or getting your DSLR modified anyway, and you get 100% see the difference, the amount of data or nebulosity that was coming through, and how much it does cut out, especially even the star size is quite small compared to that CLS filter. Even I was pretty shocked with the DSLR with the L Ultimate versus the 533 with the L Ultimate. Obviously, it's different sensor sizes, and obviously the 533 is going to have a lot less noise and stuff. But I don't know, Pixinsight Noise Exterminator, like the software versus I guess hardware in that sense, the software is really making up for that lack of cooling. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate that mine's modified, but unfortunately I can't, I guess, give in comparison with a stock DSLR. And I think obviously the Starizon reducer, I think also makes a big difference with the exposure times and getting that light with that shorter F ratio. But that torrential nebula, like that L Ultimate, pairs really well with the 533, and they were unguided 2-minute exposures. And I guess if I'm coming from my old Skywatcher ED80, which was f7.5, I was on about 5-minute exposures, and then you compare going down to, I think I'm f4.2, doing 2-minute unguided exposures. Like that's that's pretty good, but really I could probably just stay, I'm not going to stay unguided, but I guess that's an option as well when you go to a much faster telescope. So I guess there's lots of ways that you can do this. So hopefully I've I don't know, answered any sort of curiosities that people have had, and yeah, pretty stoked. Who knows what I'm going to do with this mount. I've emailed Skywatcher. So pretty much what happened, I was bored because it was raining. I updated my SynScan handset and the Wi-Fi adapter, and I saw there was a motor controller update. Started doing the update, everything was going fine, about 50% through the update. Just came up with a warning that something went wrong. Recycle your mount, recycle the power to your mount and try again, and pretty much turn the power off, turn it back on, and it's never come back on. So I'm guessing it's most likely a motherboard issue or something. So I'm glad at least I could finish this this review, because this has been on my mind for the last sort of 2 months trying to get this out. So thanks for your patience in that, and hopefully I can get this this mount repaired, I guess, so I can start to do some actual imaging. I just everything's good to go now, and yeah, so that's a kick in the nuts. But I guess I'm just going to be stuck with visual for a while. But oh well, worst things can happen, I guess. So, but thanks. Also, just in the last sort of few weeks, all the new subscribers and just comments and likes and stuff have been really great. So I wouldn't usually tell you to put the notification bell on for my channel or anything, but the fact that I might be a little while, at least you'll get notified, I guess, when I'm back, if that's something that you wanted to do. But yeah, I guess clear skies for everyone else. Have a good one. Thanks very much.